Hey everyone, it's me Staggger. Now I'm doing something really risky. First of all, I'm posting this on Pix's channel, and he doesn't like me to touch his channel that often. But guess who made the channel? Anyway, so the important thing is, sorry, I got a little bit off topic. Now back to the real topic. A magical mystery cure. Now I'm doing something really risky, considering that I am reviewing or giving my opinion on the finale when I have not given my opinion on anything else. Now the finale. I gotta admit, it was a pretty good show. It made me laugh and all this stuff. And it was pretty interesting to see them, kind of get their job switch and how they would react. But I see, some major plot holes. For example here, I might post up a picture considering copyright laws. Considering copyright laws won't let me show clips here. For starters, it kind of it's a little bit more of an animation error, or they just didn't think about it. But if you notice here, when a crowd gathers up on Rarity for putting up a whole bunch of patterns up there that are just completely random, you can see an Earth Pony with a cloud cutie mark. So that does not make any sense whatsoever. Also, there are a few Pegasi around. How come they can't help clear the sky? What's their deal? It's like, Rainbow Dash is pretty good at this, but let's just let her handle all the work. I mean, what the heck? I mean, seriously, those Pegasi could help her out, I don't quite understand that. Again, another animation error. If you're to look at this picture here, you can see Rainbow Dash has her cutie mark during the time. Also, this one's sort of a freeze frame. You really need to look at it. Pinkie Pie has her original cutie mark right here. Again, those are just animation errors those are just mostly animation errors. But what really bothered me, though, was the grammar in the song here. At one point, Applejack actually says the word hand. What? I don't see any hands I don't see any hands on where in this boutique. Period. I see hoofs. I see hooves. I see claws, paws, whatever. But I don't see any hands around. And also near the end of the song, you can hear Rainbow Dash do a very impressive Rarity impression. I mean, or did they mix up the voices by accident? But, yeah, pretty much. Okay, and then, it kind of... And then, I'm sorry, let's go back to the plot fails here. My question is, if they know... Okay, if it's just the ponies, the main six, that has been changed, then how come the animals don't think to contact Fluttershy about this? I don't quite get that. Also, some of the stuff that Fluttershy did was actually kind of funny. I guess this crowd of ponies are a very tough crowd. But surprisingly, even Vinyl Scratch is there, and Vinyl Scratch is pretty laid back. I would see her laughing at when she put on the Groucho, but apparently not. Furthermore, wouldn't Applejack look at how oh wait, no, actually let's go a little bit back here. Wouldn't Pinkie Pie, wouldn't Applejack's family wonder why Pinkie Pie is doing Applejack's job. Unless there's some kind of memory alteration, I really don't quite understand this at all. And yeah, it just doesn't really make any sense. Like, since it was just the main 6 that was changed, or 5 of the main 6 that was changed, and nothing else. Like, they still have their memories. There's even a picture where it shows their original forms, and it's just really, really weird. This kind of reminds me of Doctor Who in a way, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff, but they have a whole bunch of evidence to support, like, everything that's been going on, and everything that happened to the past, and what could have happened to the future that runs back to the past. But in this case, though, I just don't see, like, what's the whole ordeal. Why haven't they asked any questions, and why haven't they figured out anything? And the Pegasi, how come they aren't fixing this mess that Rarity made? Unless she keeps gathering it up and then they kind of give up. Or maybe they have maybe they have like a very short fuse like Twilight did in Feeling Pinky King. I mean, that episode was by far my least favorite. But anyway, I'm gonna be getting off topic if I continue talking about that. Anyway, so continuing on. I just don't really see that. Also when Twilight was kind of explaining what happened here, like, she said, when Twilight realized, she said that the elements of harmony have changed, and so that switched their true selves. If that was the case, then wouldn't that mean maybe their personalities have switched? I don't know, but it gets pretty weird. But that would explain explains Pinkie Pie's accent while she was singing. I mean, did you hear that accent? I like the accent. That was pretty awesome. Anyway, so continuing on. So continuing on, like... Sorry, I'm just skipping around the episode a bit here. At one point, when she looked at the picture, she kind of, started glowing, and then her cutie mark showed up. I wonder what was that about. I mean, she was not affected by the spell at all. I mean, it doesn't quite make sense. I don't understand how that happened. Like, she, her mark showed up in her eyes, and then she started glowing a purple aura just by saying, her friends and all this stuff. I don't know. That just really confuses me here. And in fact, the spell itself confused me, considering that there was only one element. Considering that the two princesses had the elements of harmony to begin with during the time Star Swirl was alive, and I don't see how, like, that completely altered the elements of harmony if, he had that unfinished spell. And the spell itself, that actually did make sense. I'll give it that. But I wonder why it changed the elements of harmony. Maybe because she was the wielder of the elements, and so because of that when she spoke to the spell near the elements, that just changed their destinies. I have no idea. It's confusing if you overthink it. And let's see here. Sorry, I had to cough there a little bit. Okay. Let's fast forward a little bit to the point where Fluttershy actually goes back and, take care of the animals. Surprisingly, Rainbow Dash just didn't use inference, saying that, they're hungry. They must be hungry, because after all the animals shown here, except for the bear, are herbivores. And they're willing to change that so that way, they can eat their caretaker. Which is pretty devastating if you think about it. It's really, really dark. It's a really, really dark thought. Also, I'm wondering, where did they get those utensils? Considering that unicorns are actually the only ones that actually use utensils. In a case of very high-class etiquette. Or as far as I've read. But anyway, I'm just wondering, where did they get... So, that raises suspicion that it is quite possible that... it's quite possible for... what's the word I'm looking for? I guess she keeps silverware around just in case, there needs to be some incredibly high etiquette or high class thing that goes on. But I'm overthinking things again. Anyway, so back to the episode again. Using her calming voice, she pretty much, did everything. And now here we go with the song. I don't mind musicals. I actually do enjoy them. And actually, orchestra is on my top 3 favorite types of things to listen to. Which is very strange because my top 1 is trance techno. Anyway. Also another thing here. Twilight said that the memory spell will not work. Though, every time she put a necklace upon them, memories flash right before their eyes, which is kind of confusing. So, let's put this in perspective here. If this is the case, then this kind of explains a lot of things, except for the fact that, they seem to be perfectly normal until this day happened. For you see, what probably happened here is that their memories and themselves are intact, but every bit of their job has been completely wiped out, and then some of the memories of the other pony's job were swapped pretty much. And once they put the necklace on, then that's when they realize, I've been doing this all this time, and this is my destiny. Not only that, but this kind of makes me think. Their marks actually kind of brainwashes them to, make them do the things that they do. In my opinion, I say that's I don't know. In previous episodes, you kind of see them do other things as well. And the fact that Rainbow Dash seems to be, in this episode I should probably say, seems to be all about cloud busting, when really her mark's about racing. Racing, going fast, making rain booms, all that stuff. And so that's a huge contradiction right there. Even the song says, I love weather patterns, but others have concerns. That, if anything, Rarity should have been, racing, but she keeps getting out of breath or whatever. But but I understand why they didn't do that, because that would have been way too hard to do. And way too hard. Seriously. I could probably see it happen. Rainbow Dash challenges Rarity to a race. She gets passed out. Rainbow Dash wins. She gets her necklace, and then next thing's next, the dress happens. But seriously, cloud busting, that is not really her destiny. It's her job, but it's not her destiny. It's a equalitarian society, equalitarian society, which I'm hoping I'm not butchering that pronunciation. But pretty much what that means is that everyone's treated equal, everyone has a job, and all this stuff. It tends to be, that's what I think it is. But apparently, all their quote-unquote jobs are just what they're driven to do because it's what their mark tells them to do. Okay. Which is really, I don't know how, or I really don't understand this. Anyway, continuing on before I get sidetracked again. There is another grammar error in this song. Actually, they say the word people, which is actually geared towards towards humans, when people really when people is really towards humans. I know it's not really something that people think about concerning. Excuse me. It's not really something that people think about, concerning that it's in everyday language. People say people a lot, and they don't tend to think of humans during the time. Kind of reminds me of actually a lot of episodes with songs. Like a good example would be Raised This Barn, where at one point it's like, look at us, we're family, working together thankfully, something proud to say, stick together the pony way. Now I know that's supposed to be really geared towards children and all that stuff, and the fact that they said that, it's just to add a little bit of charm and cuteness, a little bit. But, if they're a society run by ponies, then really, they don't really need to add that part. Has anyone ever said stick together the human way? That just doesn't quite make any sense whatsoever. Unless, unless you're being captured by animals, but that's besides the point. It's pretty weird. Okay, so that's about it for the grammar portion. I'm done with the grammar. You don't need to hear anything more about the grammar. But again with the plot fails. Okay. No, not that kind of plot fail. This kind of plot fail. She completes the spell, and then she gets what looks like it was vaporized. According to some sources, it said that she was supposed to become an alicorn right then and there. So now there rages a little bit more confusion here. So that means the Star Swirl knew about friendship and all this stuff. That means he himself was trying to make a spell where he becomes an alicorn. What? In this case, though, it was supposed to be a spell that sends Twilight to the Twilight Zone. Get it? No, but seriously, it doesn't. That right there. Here's where it really gets confusing here. Okay, she's in the zone, and then all of a sudden, boom, Princess Celestia. She is there all this time, and she even teleports the book. The freaking book here. So that means that she planned all of this all this time. What? Celestia, you freaking troll. So, but I gotta give it to her. Since she planned all of this, she knew about the cutie mark switching. She knew that everyone was going to be angry, and then she'll be the one who fixes it. In fact, every single episode, except for the candlelight wedding, she does absolutely nothing to help. Absolutely nothing. It's like she's really been. It's like from day one, she's been testing Twilight to freaking become an alicorn. I mean, what? Absolutely nothing to help. Okay. Now, I'm gonna be going back to animation error mode here. These are from the panels where it shows the past episodes. You notice that there are actually every single animation error is still around. Like for example, when she first enters Ponyville, in pre-season 1, Big Mac is supposed to have sparkles on his cutie mark, but the thing is, though, they kind of took it out. This was also shown in Just for Sidekicks. Oh no, not Just for Sidekicks. The one where Spike at Your Service, and the mystery on the Friendship Express. Why they keep messing that up, I have no idea. But Big Mac has sparkles on there. Also, if you were to wind back to where it shows the panel of Magic Kindergarten, you notice that there's a filly that I believe was an Earth Pony. I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen the animation era, but I bet you that animation error is still around. In fact, even in the show, in this song here, she's been watching her ever since the very first day. Princess Molestia? No, but seriously though, because of this, I don't feel safe around Ponyville now, considering that my personal space is being invaded by the all-watching eyes of a princess, and it's very disturbing if you think about it. And I kind of paused here. Yeah, the Earth Pony is still around. Huh, interesting. Anyway, so continuing on, like I said before, like, she's been watching you. Man, that's really disturbing. It kind of reminds me of, I believe the book was called 1984. Oh my gosh. It's, I don't know how I feel about that. Also, there's a point where it shows Twilight with the yep, there it is. It also shows Twilight with the wearing her gala dress, and they forgot the earrings. So they did nothing to fix those animation errors, which is actually kind of interesting. There's a whole bunch of more animation errors, but I'm gonna let WhitehawkePAUNCH do that for me because I'm not as skilled as he is. Anyway, so continuing on. And now Twilight's in Twila Corn. I have a very, very strong feeling that this is going to be short-lived. I mean, ever since I heard the news ever since I saw mini fan art of Twilight being in Twila Corn, I just thought that was just some kind of joke. And this was actually first heard of, I believe, during the second the second day voice actor panel in one of the conventions. I forgot which one, but it was the one with Sakura, Apple Bloom, and Fluttershy, and Twilight voice actors. So it was pretty much about a fake post about it, and at first I thought, okay, it's just a fake post. But then it turned out to be controversy where, everyone's like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to happen. This is definitely going to happen. I even one time had to look up something for a friend of mine, and the earliest I could find of Twilight being in Twila Corn, non-fanfic, was October 2nd, 2012. And it was pretty much a poll saying, Twila Corn, yay or nay? There are many people who said nay. I would have liked to be one of those people, but, Twilight being in Twila Corn. That's really... I'm actually surprised I went through with it. I don't like pre-reading. I don't like pre-reading before it comes out. I prefer to watch or read it. I absolutely hate spoilers, so I prefer to watch and or read it right when it comes out. However, I will go back and look at the stuff they were thinking beforehand, and before then, pretty much think that would have been interesting, or that would have been really, really cool, or something like that. I really like that kind of stuff. But having it before it happens, now that I cannot accept. I don't dare even spoil a thing for me. Sadly, though, a friend of mine already did. She's like, so it's been confirmed that Twilight's in Twila Corn. I was like, what? That ruined the whole thing for me. I mean, I saw mini art. I was in denial. And when it actually came, I was so disappointed. But I feel like this is going to be very, very short-lived due to the fact that even though she is a princess now, she is going to see how annoying it is to be one. I mean, sure, she has the potential. She has the act for it, She likes studying books. Reports, like paper report. What's the word I'm looking for? Research papers. There we go. She likes research papers, and though I do wish I could be, I am thinking about becoming an English teacher. I don't think I'm not even a big fan of research papers. I mean, all you're doing is just editing someone else's words, and putting it and making it to your own words. if that's not, I mean, that right there, I mean, just a research paper in general is just a collision. I mean, sure, you cite the person, but don't you think that's a little bit of plagiarism? I mean, what if the person was really, I mean, you don't even ask for the guy's permission. You're just like, oh, I'll cite that, give him credit. But, I don't know. It's in terms of fair use. I'll give it that. Legal system. Okay, now I'm getting off topic. But pretty much, I don't even like research papers, and, having my students do that would be fun, making them suffer, but no, that's bad. Pretend I didn't say that. Anyway, so continuing on. This is, anyway, continuing on. So yeah, she might like all of this, but once she figures out how taxing it truly, truly is, I mean, sure, having, reading a book or two, learning things on your own, that is perfectly fine, and that's pretty much what Celestia's school was all about, learning on your own pace. And then all of a sudden, having so much work, it gets very, very taxing. And remember in the Crystal Empire episode, there was a huge chunk of papers, and Celestia had to sign every single thing. It's absolute hell. It's absolute hell. Furthermore, since she's now a princess, she is now a primal target of everything. I mean, just think about it. She's an extra target of all the villains out there. I mean, sure, she has no villains yet. Or no, she has no major threats yet. But rest assured, there will be something. And I gotta take another drink of water. So, yes. I have a feeling that in the fourth season, there's two possibilities. Either Twilight's like, oh yeah, I'm not really feeling the princess thing, so I'm gonna give up my wings and become a unicorn again, and I might just be, and I like to be with my friends. Or actually, it can be kept three ways now. So what I said, or now it's going to be taking place in a city of Canterlot, and they have to adjust to what they feel, and they have to adjust to their new lives. And it's pretty much going to be 26 episodes of them adjusting, or it's going to be like one of those things where where they either find a new cast member, kind of like in 2.5 Men in a way, but they're going to find like a new cast member, or maybe there's going to be or maybe they're just going to change the main focus, like maybe start focusing on the CMC a little bit, CMC a little bit more. Maybe it's going to be fan canon where pretty much all the requests from the bronies are going to be published. Like, for example, maybe an episode with Dr. Hoobs and Ditsy Doo. It's just an example. And pretty much it's going to be the background pony's turn or whatever. And these are just thoughts. And these are just things that I feel like that the fourth season is going to be. according to one of my friends, he said that it's going to be owned by the Bronies now. So I have a feeling that either three is going to be pretty likely. However, at the same time, though, I feel like that one is going to be pretty likely. Oh, and speaking of Bronies, and a huge shout out. If you're to, actually, I have a picture up there, so you don't have to look for it, like what I'm doing right now. Pretty much, like during the song, when she gets out of her chariot, and if you look at the right of Fluttershy's nose, you notice that this is actually Derpy's pose when she very first appeared. There's even the yellow tint and everything. It's really interesting. And since I'm on the topic of Derpy, though many people already probably know this, in the intro you can actually see Derpy in the train. So pretty much. Okay, so I've talked a lot, and this is actually a lot longer than I thought. Probably because I tend to ramble a lot, and I like to ramble. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm not sure if I'm going to be adding BGM or not. If so, then good. If not, then alright. But, yeah. So, that's about it. And yeah, that's about it. That's my thoughts. This is a very biased review, if you haven't guessed already. It's my opinion. If you don't agree with it, that's perfectly fine. If you do agree with it, that's fine too. I don't care if you agree or disagree, considering that this is just an opinion and I'm just throwing it out there. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. But I really feel like that this princess thing is not going to last very long. So, in conclusion, what's the point of this episode then? That's my question for everyone. I mean, true, they were probably not expecting a 4th season, but since they are now, I have a feeling that this episode is going to be completely pointless. So why have this episode in the first place? But I guess that's for the future to determine. When season 4 comes out, we'll all see what happens. So that's about it, and I'll be seeing ya.